Hi guys, welcome back. I thought I'd do an update video because it's been about 24 hours now since I set the tank up. You see all the little CO2 bubbles on the dwarf side. So basically with the Walstad tank, or with the Walstad method aquarium, what is advised to do is do a water change every day for the first week, and then for the second week do a water change every other day, the third week every third day, fourth week every fourth day. The reason for this, it's because there's a lot going on in the tank. Remember, I don't know whether you remember me talking in another video about plants being in an energy negative or energy positive state. So basically, now the plants are in here, they're going to have to invest a lot of energy into growing new roots down into the substrate so they can start absorbing new nutrients. And at the same time this is going on, obviously the bacteria in the substrate are getting going and they're starting to break the soil down and convert it into nutrients. So the tank should be very nutrient rich. You know, with the traditional aquarium, when we cycle it, we get ammonia, nitrite, nitrate. All these things should be going on in the tank, in any tank really. So for the first few weeks or months, depending how fast your cycle is, some tanks have cycled a lot faster than others. Some have been done in a few weeks, some have been taking about 2 months. I think a lot of that's down to temperature, kH, because obviously the bacteria use kH, don't they, in the water. They like harder water and stuff. All this is going on in the substrate, and the bacteria are breaking everything down into stuff that the plants can use as nutrients. Now, obviously the plants aren't in a position when they're growing new roots and stuff they're not optimized to be absorbing nutrients. Now, if you talk to gardeners or like bonsai growers or anything, they'll tell you not to fertilize a plant or tree until it's actively growing, because it can damage the plant's roots if you're fertilizing it and it's not actively absorbing anything. So this is a key stage in the Walstad method really. We need to start doing the water changes daily and then promoting the balance in the aquarium, because everything will be out of kilter at the moment. Nothing's been established with each other, has it? So everything's new. It's a brand new environment, and as we progress through the weeks and we're changing the water and stuff, then the bacteria will start breaking things down, and then the new root will get down into the substrate and they'll start absorbing these nutrients and using that to grow, and they'll put themselves back into an energy positive state where they'll have all the nutrients stored, and then they'll be able to start photosynthesizing better. And that's the process we want to promote basically in our aquarium. And then once that's kicked in, it takes about, I said yesterday in yesterday's video, it takes about 8 weeks for all the bacteria to mineralize the soil and for the plants to get going. Some plants take longer, don't they? You know, everyone's had a plant that's soaked for months and then all of a sudden it just explodes. It's part of keeping aquariums really, well, keeping any type of plants. So, but I like to promote that. I think with the Walstad method, with the Walstad method, a lot of people just want to get it set up and then leave it and think that it's just going to do everything for itself. But you know, if you've got tons of nutrients in the water column and you've got tons of light and the plants aren't absorbing anything, then there's only one way it's going to go, isn't it? Algae's going to kick off. Now, the thing with this, I've seen conflicting information with dwarf sage. Now, if it was a bigger tank, I'd have used Val or something else. But if it was a bigger tank, if I'm honest, I'd use completely different plants. But I'd have used LOD Adensa and Vallisneria. I'd have used some Amazon swords and a lot more crypts. Talking about crypts, I found a little crypt. This little crypt here was tangled into the Rotala, and I thought, you know what, it's already in the tank, I'm going to plant it and see how we get on. So I've got a little crypt in there that wasn't supposed to be in here. It wasn't supposed to be in here, but it is now. So I say I'm just going to do a water change. I've got a bucket, take about 12 litres, I'll put 12 litres back in, and then that should be my maintenance for today really. I don't know whether anyone's got any questions, comments, anything like that, anything they want to add. Obviously I put the video out yesterday and didn't really do much talking in it because I wanted to show you rather than tell you what I'm doing. And then, yeah, so the thing I'm worried about with this is the dwarf sedge. I noticed a couple of snails in here actually. There's a couple of little baby snails knocking around. They must have been on the plants, which is great. If they survive, adds to the ecosystem, doesn't it? Helps keep a bit of algae under control really, and adds to the breakdown of nutrients and stuff, so it's all there. But I say I'm a bit worried about the dwarf sedge. I've seen conflicting information. Some people say it does well in a Walstad tank. Other people, I've seen people say it doesn't do well and it struggles in the Walstad tank. So I'm going to find out, but I'm just worried that that's about 50% of the plant material in here is dwarf sedge. So if it doesn't do well, then 50% of the tank's basically unplanted, isn't it? And then the light, I'm worried that the light's a bit bright. So we've got a small tank with a lot of nutrients and a lot of light, so it could kick the balance out. So, but hopefully once the carpeting plants at the top cover it, then that should reduce the light by a lot. So there we go, guys. I've taken most of the water out and filled it back up. I've done larger than 50% because I thought I've got the water, got the capacity. 12 litre bucket takes most of the water out of this, and then 12 litres of fresh water tops it back up. So I think may as well do the extra, and then I'm diluting all the nutrients in the water, and then I like to think that it helps balance because the CO2 in tap water, I do it later on in the day when I assume that the CO2 has been depleted in the water, and then it gives the plant a fresh kick. So I feel like the balance of taking out all the nutrients that have been building up and then adding a bit of CO2 in with the fresh water, I feel like it gives the plants a chance to kick in and do a bit of growing while the light's still on. I've still got the lights on, like I think it's 4 or 6 hours, I can't remember, I think it's 6. But I've reduced them down, I'll get them up to 8 eventually. I like to do 8 hours of light and 16 hours of darkness over a Walstad tank. Because you need to balance it, don't you? It's, you know, it's all about balance. A planted tank, if you go over the top, then you get an imbalance and that leads to algae. But I'm seeing quite a few snails, baby snails in there. That's, for me, that's a good sign. But I'm happy with what I'm seeing so far. So if you've enjoyed this video and the information, please consider giving it a thumbs up for me. And if you're interested in seeing more of these videos, consider subscribing. The more activity I get on each video, the better they'll do, and the more people visit the channel and the more active the channel will become, and the higher YouTube will promote it. So I'd really appreciate that, guys. And any comments, any suggestions, anything like that, let me know in the comment section. Take care, guys.